2013 is just indescribable because it's been one thing after the other, positive, one thing after the other. Things I never asked for, things I didn't think of. And it reminds me of some of those biblical scriptures where he says, he gives you stuff you don't even know you need.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, by me not ever being a selfish person, I never let money drive what I do or what I think. And he's always provided the money. Why I think about other things.
Yeah.
But the other things that I think about are always things that involve other people.
Yeah.
And so I always tell Alex, I said, let me tell you, stick with me, you're going to be famous. I said, because everybody around me makes it. Because, they have two different kinds of fame.
Oh, I bet.
They have fame that we deal with every day here, and then we have that fame that's way above everything else and you look down at other people. Right. Because of some of the good things that you've done in life, and things like that. So, to cut a long story short, I was ready for this meeting 2 hours before 12 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I was ready to come out of the house. So yesterday I told Alex, I said, I bought some new Bose speakers. And I hooked them up last night before I went to bed, but I was just too tired to listen to them.
Are these the Bose speakers that you didn't buy for me?
Right. The ones I didn't plan on buying for myself. Right. But for some reason, something led me to these high-end Bose. So when my wife comes back, she says, you better get up, it's getting late. I said, okay. I said, well, let me go listen to these speakers. She says, it's time to go. I said, I got to listen to these speakers. That means I had to turn the computer on. Right. I turned the computer on, and this big letter rolls out, bam! And it says, Andrew M. Reno. And he said, well, who's Andrew M. Reno? I've only been talking about this guy for 50 years. We were in the military together. We were in special service together. We were on the same rifle team together. At a very poignant moment in my life, when I faced discrimination like that, he was standing right there in in Delaware. Right up the road from my home in Philadelphia. And when I experienced that, it left an indelible impression on me about racist. Yeah. And he was he's a white boy from Dallas, Texas. And when we went to this motel, we were there to shoot. We were on a rifle team together, representing the 2nd Army. We went in there to stay. It was 12 members of the team. All of them white, I'm the only black guy. We went in to check in for this match the next day. And the woman said, well, he can't stay here. And I looked at no one ever said that to me. So the captain of the team, who was a captain, said, well, what are you talking about? He said, well, we don't have any occupancy for colored people. So, but we made arrangements down the road where that they can stay. Andrew's shorter than me. But when I looked over, I think he was about as tall as me. What? And so I said, well, first thing is, you can't pick a place for me to stay. I don't know them people. I'm not going down there for anybody. So the team backed off. They said, they're white guys, okay. Most of them are older than me on this rifle team, all from the South. They said, well, we can't stay here. So they were going back because it's a team solidarity. Right. I said, no, you all stay, because somebody got to be awake at that match tomorrow to win, because we were shooting against civilians. And so Andrew said, well, I'm going with Jack wherever he goes. Andrew had a 1951 convertible Ford. We slept in it all night. Through the years, I've talked about Andrew, I've talked about this story. And I often wonder what happened to him, because after we got out of service, and I never heard from him again until this morning. This morning.
Really? Wow. Man.
Wow. I couldn't tell you how I felt. And he said, I didn't read the whole story yet, but I do remember he said that through the years he'd become a DJ, and he knew about my history. He's got my book. He's got the DVD Standing in the Shadows, but he didn't know how to get in touch with me. So not too long ago, I imagine from what I gleaned from the letter, he was helping somebody that was in an automobile accident, and he got hit helping them, almost killed. So he said he has slight memory loss and recollection, but he knows about me. And some of his friends told me, get in touch with Jack. Now, how he got in touch with me, I don't know. But I read that letter, man, and I was frozen. I talked about this guy like he's a family member for 50 years. I would talk about Andrew. He stood up for me and everything. And during that moment in time when my world crashed about relations, and he was there for me. I mean,
But where is he now?
Dallas, Texas.
In Dallas.
So I sent an email to him, told him to call me at 5 o'clock because I had to digest this for some hours. I don't want to talk now. And then he sent me a letter back and said that he couldn't talk either. And that, 5 o'clock was a good time to regroup and everything. And the reason I say that God plays a role in that, because God knows in my heart there was an empty spot for my friend, and he brought him right to me.
Wow.
These little things, see, they ain't all about money. Does that make sense to you what I'm saying?
It makes perfect sense.
He brought
That
right
kind
to
of
me,
stuff
sat
happens.
him right here for you, say, yeah, he is. And we still feel the same about each other, man. And I'm gonna put him in my movie. I want you to know that. Because it's such a point in my life, in my history, in my development, and then in somewhere in the letter he says, Jack, he said, I remember when we would sit down, you'd be talking about Hamp. He said, Hamp was your idol, Lionel Hampton. He said, Hamp was your idol. He said, you don't know what I felt like when I saw you playing the vibes. He said, and that's what, he said, I knew you followed your dream. He said, he said, man, I cried when I saw you playing because you said you were going to do that way back then in 58.
Wow.
1958.
Wow. That is something.
Stop it right now.
It was just,